Welcome. How are you doing today? I'm feeling pretty fucking rough. I went out Saturday night and I think I'm still hungover. Okay, so I want to talk about a certain fruit man. He's like the most hated YouTuber. You may remember in recent years, Chris Hansen went after him and then made a show about him for Discovery Plus. I'm not going to say his name because the last time I said his name, he fucking found me. And that really freaked me out. You know, I'd been very careful not to talk about him at all for, a few years. I did not say that man's name in my videos because talking about him is like the cheapest fucking way to grow your YouTube channel. Yeah, last time I talked about him, I said his name. I didn't censor it out, though I didn't put it in the thumbnail. I didn't put it in the title or the description. And I don't think I even used clips from his own videos. I might have used a few seconds. But I didn't play any of the audio. It just showed his face. Anyway, the motherfucker found my video and left a comment on it letting me know he didn't fucking like it. And that scared the fuck out of me because I didn't know how he found me. And I was like, is Content ID that fucking good? And so I made a video talking about how he had found me. And I didn't say his name in that one. But someone recently discovered that video and they left me a comment saying the way that he found me was because YouTube generated a transcript of my video, and it is incredibly likely that the man has Google Alerts set up to let him know every time someone says his fucking name, which sounds incredibly unhealthy. Now, some of you may recall that in 2011, this fruit individual very briefly dated a woman named Adrian. She never appeared in any of his videos. And she has now deleted all of her own videos from back in the day. So let me tell you about Adrian. I'm sorry, it's gray weather. It's starting to rain. I'm gonna have to keep the sunglasses off. So in 2003 or 2004, I started hanging out with this guy. Nice guy, you know, I ended up dating him for like 5 years. But he had these two roommates, they were a couple. And his roommate's best friend was this girl named Adrian. So I remember one time I went over to my boyfriend's house and she was there and it was the first time that I met her. And like we were friends, we were part of like the same friend circle for years. I think the last time I saw her in person was in 2009 or 2010. And I remember she had a following of her own. I remember friending her on MySpace and being like, holy shit, she's got a lot of fucking friends. And it's because her dad is famous. He's in a band. And she was one of those girls back in the MySpace days who, for lack of a better term, was like a cam whore. She spent kind of a lot of her time getting real pretty and taking photos of herself and then putting them on MySpace. And because so many people liked her just because they liked what she looked like, she had like wish lists linked in her MySpace profile. And people who thought she was attractive would just like send her shit. So I remember in 2011 on Facebook, she had, I guess, started dating this fruit individual. And it only lasted for like 3 weeks. It didn't make it to over a month. But I remember just seeing her posting nonstop about how it was just so fucking turbulent and crazy that like in such a short period of time, they had met. He had convinced her to like quit her job, rehome her pets, and like move across the country to be with him. And then would like break up with her and then get back together with her. So she was trying to like get her life squared away so that she could move. And then suddenly like it was called off, but like she'd already quit her fucking job. It was a nightmare. And I remember he threatened her kind of a lot with like civil suits for slander. And I do remember her posting a lot and like making fun of him for it. And I know that like his audience went after her and she got like harassed and attacked. But because she'd been around, she'd had a following on the internet for a while. She was doing pretty well with it. She was not afraid. But it seemed so dramatic. And every time I got on Facebook, there it was, more and more about the issues with this fruit individual. And it started to get fucking annoying. Because not long before all of this happened with Adrian and the fruit individual, she had like a different breakup that was pretty painful for her. And she posted about that a lot. So when it happened again, I was just like, oh my God, this woman just loves to fucking complain. Jesus, not everyone needs to like see you pour your heart out multiple times a day. I was an asshole for that. But I remember commenting on one of her posts. And I said, you really like to complain. Because the things that she was saying about him seemed so fucking outrageous and outlandish. I thought she was fucking exaggerating. I thought there was no way anybody could possibly be that fucking awful. So maybe 6, 7, 8 months later, I know it was in 2012, I was in Colorado visiting my ex-boyfriend. And at the time, the shit I watched on YouTube was ownage pranks, hairbox thrillers, and jizz. And a video got recommended to me. And it was a fruit individual video. And I clicked on it, and I saw him talking about my friend Adrian, and I saw him with Shiloh, and so I started going down this weird rabbit hole with my boyfriend, because I was like, holy shit, I know who this dude is. Like, he went viral, he was on Tosh.0, and then he fucking dated my friend. I don't know how, but apparently it was bad. And then after watching his fucking videos and seeing how batshit crazy he was, it blew my fucking mind. And I do feel really bad that I did not take Adrian seriously and that I said something fucking rude to her. In telling my boyfriend about this, while we were watching more of the fruit individual's videos, I pulled up Facebook because I wanted to show him my friend. and I thought maybe I would be able to like dig up some of those posts that she made about him. And that's when I discovered that she had unfriended me. And oh boy, I fucking deserved it, dude. I did not take her seriously because, yeah, like, I did not know that a person could be as ridiculously horrible as he is. And as soon as I saw that she unfriended me, I knew exactly what it was, you know, that made her do it. But because, you know, like, we were never, like, close friends, and we hadn't hung out in, like, a year or two, I just went on with my life. But I remember looking at his channel and seeing that he had, like, a fucking million subscribers. That was wild to me, because I genuinely did not realize that many people actually used YouTube.com. So yeah, it was just so fucking weird. But yeah, so I went on with my fucking life. Mostly because I was dating that fucking one dude, and he just consumed my entire life. And not because, like, oh my god, he's so wonderful and I'm in love. No, because he was fucking crazy. He's a lunatic. Like, there is something wrong with him. And I genuinely hope that he has finally come around to the idea of, like, getting treatment. Because, like, the dude definitely had auditory hallucinations. And was incredibly paranoid. I don't want to talk about him anymore. It's gonna ruin my fucking day. But yeah, so I forgot about the fruit individual until maybe 2016, when people started talking about him a lot. Now, the earliest video I can find of people talking about him was from 2010, and oh boy, that video was not received well, because he was still really popular back then. The tides had not turned. But when they did turn, I'm sure you can imagine, like, everybody hates him. You know, and in recent years, like, a lot of people came forward with, like, stories about, like, how goddamn awful he was. How poorly he treats people. And, you know, I really owe Adrian an apology. But it's been so long that I don't think she'd care. Because when all of these people started coming forward, like, every fucking woman who has ever met or this fruit individual or had any personal experience with him, it's all bad. It's all very, very bad. And when everything started happening with Chris Hansen in 2019 and all that shit started popping off, the only person who did not come out of the woodwork was Adrian. And I've been following her on Instagram since, like, you know, she joined, I imagine. So I went and I looked at her profile, and I saw that she just was, like, living her best life. That she's just, like, doing great. And that I highly doubt that man was on her radar at all. And I think the only reason that she was able to just, like, bounce back from all that and just, like, carry on with her life is because she was his age. The fruit individual likes to prey on much younger people because he can manipulate them. So you have a man who's now in his, like, mid-30s who, like, still wants to talk to teenagers. 18-and-a-half-year-olds. But when all of this happened, he was, I think, 25, and so was Adrian. And Adrian's a fucking tough internet cookie, dude. Like, she's been on the internet her entire fucking life since she was very young. And her dad's fucking famous, so I think she, being an adult woman and it not being her first rodeo on the internet, had enough of her own following and enough support to just be like, okay, dude, whatever. You're not gonna sue me. And I remember thinking, like, how the fuck did she meet him? And yeah, it was because she watched some of his videos and she found him, what's the word?
Insufferable.
She couldn't stand him. And then she ended up going on his website, like his forums. And she was talking to people there, and other people on his website didn't fucking like him either. And they were on his forums talking shit about him. And he ended up interacting with her on the website. And she started to realize that, like, she loved to hate him. Anyway, dude, it's fucking weird. I want to thank you for listening. I feel like forgiveness is very important, so I want you to forgive yourself for the time that you have wasted watching this video, and have a good day.